Welcome to Weight Loss and Wellness for Real, the podcast where people like you get the practical solutions and support you need to permanently lose the physical and mental weight so you can feel better and live the life you want in the body and mind you want. If you're looking to overcome your stress eating, overeating, binging behaviors, and move to a place of freedom with food and your body, you're in the right place. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here and listening. Today, we are going to talk about exercise, working out. I've received a few requests to discuss binge eating before and after workouts, and I'm going to include overeating. You may not actually fit the definition of binge eating, but you might know that you overeat either before or after workouts. I know this is a common concern for many, that habit of binging and or overeating before or after exercise. Some individuals, and including me, I've talked about this a lot on past episodes, have used exercise as an excuse to overeat or binge. So essentially linking our exercise routine, our workout routine to our food intake. It's kind of like this weird concept that we take on, that in order to eat what we want to eat, we have to exercise first or after. Like food intake and nourishing our bodies is only allowed when we have done exercise XYZ, ran so many miles, walked so many steps, spent so many hours at the gym. And here's the thing, this link between exercise and food intake that some of us have tangled together really does lead to overeating and or binging behaviors. We want to untangle this link in our minds. We need a new way to think about exercise and nourishing our bodies so the overeating, the binging can abate. While exercising does burn calories and may stimulate hunger, it's really crucial to align your food intake with your body's actual needs. So keep listening. I'm going to go into how to do this. I wanted to tell you about a company I recently used and that you may be interested in using as well. It is called 5 Strands, 5 the number, and then STRANDS, 5 Strands. And it is a test to learn about food intolerances, environmental intolerances, and it can give you lots of really good information on how your body is currently responding to your diet. So it can identify food or environmental intolerances, and then you can kind of temporarily remove these things from your diet and make lifestyle decisions around that in order to reduce inflammation, to feel a bit better. This isn't about allergy testing. This isn't the same if you were to go get allergy testing through blood. This is simply about a different process they use that help to identify not allergies, but simple intolerances to foods that you currently may be eating and things in your environment. And then once you have that knowledge, the idea is you can go into an elimination diet and take all those things out at once. Versus if any of you have done an elimination diet before, when you're trying to figure out what's working for you, what's not, it may be something like you take out all dairy, you have to wait 4 weeks to see how you respond, then you take out another thing, so it's just this really long process of trying to figure those things out. This is just a really quick, simple, easy way to get that information and eliminate all those things at once. And then the idea is you do slowly add them back in once your body, the inflammation has calmed down, your body's ready to respond to them again. So this isn't about eliminating these foods forever and always. It's simply about taking them out for a time period to really optimize your health, maybe even lose some weight, and then slowly adding them back in. And the test is so easy because you just send in some strands of hair, hence the name of the company, 5 Strands. You just send in some hair, you get results back within 5 to 7 days. The other reason I, when asked, agreed to work with this company was because their customer service was so amazing. Any questions you have, anything like that, they are just friendly, very knowledgeable. I just really, really appreciated their This to me was like old school customer service. So they're a great company. And this sort of testing can just give you that idea of, okay, these are the things I'm going to try to cut out, and we'll see, trying to optimize feeling good, all that sort of stuff. And my own personal thing with this is I was noticing that I was having just some cues and feedback going on from my body with some regular things I had been eating where I had never had those negative cues and feedback before. And so I knew something was going on, and that's why I got into taking this test. And what was really interesting is some things came back that I knew would come back. Like, I've always known dairy. I do not do well with dairy. I know I don't do well with eggs, things like that. But I really found some of the results fascinating. Like, there were certain proteins that I was used to eating every single day that I'm highly, right now, currently in my lifestyle, intolerant to, and other proteins that were just fine. So that helped me adjust to what I'm eating right now. Another thing that was really interesting is I always thought I was really intolerant to red wine, but was fine with all clear alcohol, like vodka, all that kind of stuff. And actually, according to this, all clear alcohol is not good, but I am totally cool with red wine. So things like that were really, really fascinating to me, and also just helped me create sort of this elimination diet plan for about 6 weeks that I'll be doing, and just gave me all the information in one shot. So I highly, highly recommend them if you are looking to optimize your health. It's a quick and easy test to just get more information. I really do hope you give it a try. I just believe more knowledge about our bodies and how they are working is such a key in gaining that optimal health. So if you want to give them a try, you can head over to 5strands.com. Again, it's the number 5 and then STRANDS.com. And when you go to checkout, put in my name, Heather Heinen, HEYNEN, and you're going to get a nice discount. So often people overeat in the scenario that we're talking about with exercising due to they either overestimate their body's energy requirements or simply because they enjoy eating. So here's the really hard truth that I am often explaining to clients. That readout on the treadmill machine that says you burn 300 calories in 30 minutes, or your smartwatch that tells you burned 400 calories running 4 miles, is very, very, very often wrong and quite off in the actual energy spent and beyond that. There's actually lots of data out there you can look at showing that these smartwatches, they're often off. They can be off by more than 50%. So thinking that you burned 400 calories in exercise so that you can eat an extra 400 calories that day would literally mean you could eat a banana, an apple, and 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. So this is not a lot of food. So we often end up eating way more calories than that, thinking, it's all good because I burned 400 calories. So, then you eat a fast food meal, which is typically runs around 1,500 calories, or you have a couple of king-size chocolate bars, 1,000 calories. My point is, often we think we are staying within these number of calories, but we're not. And it's this double-edged sword, because if we have those readouts, the smartwatches, the treadmill readout, first of all, it's telling us that we're burning way more calories than we probably are. But then also we kind of think, well, so I can eat that much, but we end up eating way, way more calories. And beyond that, eating beyond fullness, whether after exercise or not, often stems from a desire to obtain pleasure or to avoid certain emotions. So for years, I used over-exercising to allow myself the pleasure of food that otherwise I would restrict. And this belief or thought pattern that I could only eat the things I really wanted if I had exercised for hours and hours led to my body starving while putting on weight. My body wasn't nourished with the foods it needed, and so it started to throw up all these urges to overeat and binge. And this is how my binge habit and overeating habit really got started, due to over-exercising. And to manage this, you want to really, after you exercise, after you work out, take a moment to assess your body's signals. Are you genuinely hungry, and to what extent? You want to consider how much food would satisfy your hunger. And as you eat, really paying attention, being mindful to your fullness levels, really slowing down and being present in the moment rather than using exercise as an excuse to consume excessively. This, again, it's all about becoming mindful, slowing down, taking time to pause and really think about these things versus the automatic consumption after exercising that day. If you do find yourself especially hungry after a workout, please do nourish your body appropriately. Ignoring this hunger may lead to binge urges, which we want to avoid. So there really is this balance you have to plug into figuring out if you happen to be an exerciser. You have to relearn how to fuel your body appropriately for the exercise you are doing. And if you don't, you will eventually end up weighing more as your body down-regulates its metabolism. So you're weighing more, you're putting on weight while exercising more, and also having to eat less and less just to maintain weight. And this is how the body works to protect you. If you are over-exercising your body, over-exerting your body is going to believe it's running from a tiger. Basically, it thinks you're in danger, so it starts to conserve everything. It downregulates the thyroid. It slows down metabolism because it's like, oh my gosh, we're in danger here. She's exercising all the time. He's exercising all the time. We're obviously in danger, so we need to conserve all the energy we can. And this is what starts that cycle. So whether it's before or after exercise, the key is to maintain that healthy relationship with exercise and food. Working to change your thoughts about exercising. So if you're thinking things like it's solely a means to justify eating or compensate for a binge, I used to do that too because it was like, my body was starving, so it would urge me to binge. I got into that binge habit, but then after a binge, I'd feel like I needed to compensate for it, so I'd over-exercise again, this vicious cycle. So instead, recognizing exercise's positive impact on your overall health, well-being, and mood. So we need to unlink and untangle the thought, the idea that exercise and food somehow go together. They do not. Exercise is wonderful, yes, in the appropriate amount for you and your individual needs for your health, not for your weight. And food is not earned due to exercise. We nourish our bodies with food because we respect them, love them, and want to be healthy, which goes along with a healthy weight. On the other side, for some of us, we need to separate our thoughts that we need to do exercise to alleviate our guilt, or it's our punishment because we overate or binged on food. If you overeat or binge and then feel guilty and shame, and you get rid of the guilt or shame only by pushing yourself and punishing yourself through exercise, we really have a problem. This does turn into an emotional habit. I binge or overeat. I feel guilt and shame. I am compelled to overexercise. And then the cycle. By repeating this pattern, we create the habit of thoughts, feelings, behaviors. And this habit will keep you in the binging and or overeating cycle, which always leads to more shame, guilt, emotional tension, and turmoil, stress. And ultimately, the physical outcome is weight gain. So we can learn to enjoy the appropriate amount of exercise for the sake of enjoyment and health, not as a tool to address binge-related or overeating concerns. And remember, there is no need to make up for a binge through excessive exercise. Embrace introspection, learn from your experiences, get curious, focus on improving your thought patterns and strategies for managing binge urges. This really is the only way to stop the binging, overeating behaviors. Exercise should be a joyful activity that you engage in, that you participate in because you want to, not because you feel obligated or to counteract a binge. Allow your body's hunger cues to kind of guide your food intake. Slow down and practice self-reflection after a binge. If you are ready to change your relationship with food and with exercise, and also, of course, your relationship with yourself so you can improve your life and your weight, if that's your goal, get in touch. If you're listening to this at the time it was released, I currently have spots open in my online coaching services, you can go to my website at heatherheinen.com for more info and get in touch. Thank you for listening, for being here. You all listening make this podcast happen by listening, leaving reviews, and being a patron. Talk to you soon. Did you know you can find a lot more help from me on my website? Go to heatherheinen.com. Heinen is spelled Heynen, and get in touch with questions on all things I offer, like online courses for overeating, weight loss, goal attainment, and also my coaching and counseling services. Just a reminder that this podcast represents my own opinions. The content here should not be taken as medical advice. The content here is for educational and informational purposes only. Please consult your doctor or healthcare professional for any individual medical questions you may have.